All right, as always, folks, I always check to make sure that we're live, and I think we are, and there we are live. See, I always have to check and turn on the volume so I can see if everyone comments. So we are live, and welcome to Scotty Talks About. As we'll let some more people go into the room and get in here, I'm talking with Joe Couto. Hi, Joe Couto.
Hello, Scotty.
How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. How you been?
I've actually been really good. You got into the spiritual world 100% now, and
I always thought you were, but
I was, but the day job kicked me out. Said, you're gone. And the
me
universe.
too. I got into the spiritual world myself.
Yes, well, we'll talk about that because I'm gonna call Joe Couto out a bunch of times today.
Yeah, he is. I knew that was good.
Like
When you
I
sent me that
always
message.
do.
When you sent me that message, and I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to do the show," and then I'm like, "Ooh, yeah,
Well, Joe and I have been friends for quite a while now already. How many freaking centuries has he been? A
it's
lot.
been well." No, I want to say. Well, it would have been when I moved out to this area when I lived out in the country, so it would have been 2009.
Okay,
Yeah. Wow.
11 years.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah, we did. Joe was the team leader. Hi, Devin. Welcome. Um, Joe was the team leader. What was it? What was the name of the thing? NA Paranormal?
Northern Alliance of Paranormal Investigators.
Nah, it's still around, at least on a T-shirt.
It is. I got t-shirts. I got some hoodies. I still wear them out every once in a while. People around here are like, "Oh,
NA Paranormal. Who the
what
hell is
is
that?
that?" Yeah, that seems like I don't know. I mean, the way it feels like it was 30 years ago.
Hi, Jen. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I mean, it
It
seems like
does.
just the way we did stuff in those days, and I always like talking about that. That's always fun. But we had a good time. So why don't we give a brief description of you, and then I'm going to talk about when we were at that one theater in Kenosha. Remember that one? What was that called?
Oh, and
What, or what?
Waukegan,
Yeah, Waukegan. That's what it was.
Genesee Theater. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Joe, why don't you give your bio here so you start to show out?
A description of myself. Well, I'm about 5'4". I like
That's
long
tall.
walks on
That's
the
not
beach.
tall. He's like 5'1".
Yeah, I'm not tall. You ever seen Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, Hobbit.
Yes.
Frodo.
Yeah, no, I don't know really much of a bio anymore. I mean, like Scotty was saying, I used to be into the paranormal, into the investigating, had a group. That I think I started doing that probably almost 20 years ago. And it was a great time. Got to go to a lot of places. I'm more of a skeptical, and I'm sure Scotty's going to call me out on that in a little bit.
I will.
Um, oh yeah,
Come.
you know, I wouldn't say I'm a skeptic. I'm just very skeptical.
Which is okay. I've always said that.
But I come from a law enforcement background, so I'm very. I'm trying to think of the word for it. Uh, I want to go out and I want to find every possible explanation for anything, even though Scotty yells at me and cusses at me because I'm acting like an idiot. I'm still going to do it. So,
I know, but I still call you out like an idiot.
but yeah, I walked away from it a few years back. A lot of reasons, and then lately I've kind of turned towards doing a little more of the raw. Um, on YouTube, I got the Skeptical Edge TV, and I don't know. I kind of put away all the meters and all the other
Mhm.
paperweights, and I pretty much go into places now with just a camera. I like to explore urban legends and film that kind of stuff, even though I don't believe in them. But I just still think it makes for good, because people always wonder. People are always trying to scare each other. So that's what I do.
That's cool. You're still doing radio with or the videos with um, Jason and
We do. Yep. Yeah. We do stirring the pot. It's kind of more of a just kind of get on there and talk about whatever with Jay Lynch and Jason Arthur every Tuesday night. We've been doing these eating challenges.
yeah, what the hell's up with that? I wanted to talk.
I don't know. I don't even remember
Had,
how
like,
it's.
crickets or something or something.
I have eaten just a few weeks back. I did a chocolate covered scorpion.
How was that?
That wasn't well. When you first eat it, you're like chocolate. Like everyone loves chocolate. And then there's this taste that there's no way to explain it. And then you're picking like exoskeleton out of your teeth for about an hour. So yeah, that wasn't pleasant. I've eaten the zebra tarantula.
Right.
And Scotty, you know how I am with spiders.
I know.
That whole show, just watching me trying to open the package and get it was, my son had to come help me because I do not do spiders. But I did it. It was kind of like face my fear type of thing.
Right.
I couldn't tell if I was crying or sweating that bad. I guess at one point I had put it on a plate and my hand was shaking so bad that this thing was moving across the plate and I squealed like a little girl. At one point I dropped it in my lap and squealed. But yeah, I was able to finally pick it up with some pliers and eat.
Yeah.
That was not good because all night I'm trying to clear my throat because the little hairs on it are like stuck in the back of your throat. We just went out to Indiana and ate
Marmite or whatever that
Marmite.
is. Yeah, something like
which that wasn't completely horrible. It was just very salty.
But what is it? Nobody knows.
Junk. No, I mean, and other people are like, "Oh, you're doing it wrong." No, I don't think there's a
period.
I don't think there's a good way to do it. But they say you're supposed to put a real thin layer like on bread and stuff like that. I just dipped my finger in and ate it.
By the way, hi Heather, hi Alma.
Yeah, I think we ate like pickled pig's feet.
That's not. Good. I used to eat that all the time.
Oh, yuck!
My dad, and my grandpa, and when we were kids, were full of it. So
no. And then there was this liver pate stuff.
Liver pate tastes good.
Oh, that tastes like cat food.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which I have eaten on air.
I love Braunschweiger.
Oh.
See, so most of the challenges you're doing, yeah, I do it.
Well, that's how Jason is. Jason's like, oh, this is good. He went back for like thirds, I think.
You know what? On Facebook they always have those picky eater lists.
Yep.
And I always put 0 because I eat everything.
Well, yeah. And I thought I could too, but and then we washed it down with clam juice. Yeah. The worst thing I've done was I took a sandwich and I was tuna out of a can.
Okay.
With some ketchup and cat food.
Not on this show, folks. Not on this show.
No. I think I'm still recouping.
I had a Whopper tonight. Yes.
So yeah, we have fun. We have fun, and
Jay and Jason are amazing people. Love that.
They're crazy, but it's kind of nice because, like I said, I had stepped away from the field, and I just kind of did my adulting, and
got a job, real one.
Got a real job and got to pay bills, and so I was just kind of every once in a while I'd pop into Facebook and comment on some paranormal stuff, and then I'd like dip back out for 3 months, and they asked me to be a guest on their show. I want to say it was like maybe their second episode they ever done, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll be a guest, whatever. And by the end of the show, I was signed up, and yeah, I didn't know it was going to take the route it was going to take, but hey, but you know what? I'm having fun doing it. It's actually kind of lit that little fire under my butt. So I'm doing a lot of other things now.
That's really cool. So anyway, back to back to the Genesee Theater. That was a fun night.
It was. That was nice.
So Joe and I went on a lot of investigations, and even here we talked about even last week because Bob Segner was on. He says hi, by the way, Joe.
Oh,
So Bob was on, and then I think when Mark Anthony was on and Scott Tepperman, we talked about the Pensacola Paracon that we all went to, you and I.
yeah.
You know, Scott Tepperman stiffed us for dinner.
Yeah.
We made fun of him, but he actually showed up at Joe and I's room. We're like, what the hell? He really comes. I'm surprised. But Joe was there. Joe was there the night I got cursed too by the lady with the Ouija board. Remember her?
Oh, yeah.
And I said everything positive in my life has happened since she cursed me.
Hey, where can I get a little bit of that curse?
Yeah, how about another curse, everybody?
Yeah, hey. That was the event that I had all the trying to think of the nice way to say it. The very strong believing religious people that caught me outside of the convention because not only did I have a Monster sweatshirt on, I had a big can of Monster, and this lady called me every name in the book, told me every which way, every path I was going to take to hell. That I was marked. I was marked by the beast, and I was like, cool. I'll thank my dad later. You know, yeah. It was fun times though.
It was a good time. And
I miss that stuff.
Bob and I talked about last week all the evidence we caught. You know, we had a hack shack back then. You know, it was a hack shack because the boxes weren't out yet.
Yeah.
You know, you take a radio from Radio Shack and cut one of the wires, and it scanned all the time. So.
Oh, the crazy things we used to do.
I know, it was great. Devin called it Beast Pee.
I love it.
Monster.
I love it. I still from time to time drink it.
Oh, do you?
Not like I used to though.
I don't see how you could, old man.
I drink one now. My heart's like, yeah. But yeah, because that was when I got really sick down there because I think I drank like 5 of them that one day, and we were up on that Q&A panel, and I got like this tunnel vision, and it was all bad.
Yeah, and then we were getting cursed, and everyone was fun.
Yeah,
it was really a good time.
Yeah.
Loved it. So anyway, at the Genesee Theater, we had another investigator. His name was Scott. Remember, we were talking to him. We're going up in this elevator, and we had our recorders running, and we were talking about REO Speedwagon because that's Scott's jam. Members.
Yep. Yeah, because they had the poster right on the elevator wall.
And we were talking about it, and we had our voice recorders running, and of course, Spirit was trying to get my attention, but didn't because we were jamming on REO Speedwagon crap. And then we play back. I still have the audio somewhere.
Do you really?
I do.
Wow.
So we have it in there, and the audio of it, you hear the ghost going, Scotty! You know, they're trying to get your attention, and all we were doing is talking about REO Speedwagon.
That was weird, and just the way it almost had like I don't know the best way, like almost like a pattern to the way it said it, because it was like Scotty, like it was yelling, and I remember listening to that, and I think I peed a little because that definitely caught my attention.
Yeah, I think that was one of the first times we investigated together.
That was the first night I met you.
Yeah,
like we had talked on the phone, and I was like, well, yeah, because you had said something about you were looking for a group to join. And I'm like, well, hey, we're going to be out at this theater. Why don't you meet us out there? And that's where we met.
I did. And that was the night that it kind of freaked Joe out because upstairs I was telling him about these apartments and nobody knew about them. And then later on, we found out they were all apartments up there.
Yep. And the little girl in the bathroom, and which that didn't sound right. But yeah.
It never does, unfortunately.
No, she was not physically there. We did not have a little girl in the bathroom with us.
Exactly.
Just want to put that disclaimer out there.
But yeah, it was a great night. We had a lot of evidence for time together. So
yeah.
Wasn't Sherry there with us that night?
Sherry was there. I think Victor was out there with us.
Victor was too.
Yeah.
And didn't we do it with Victor? Didn't we do the Chicago theater in Chicago?
The Congress Theater, yeah.
Congress, yeah. Or
With Victor and Dave and
yeah,
yes. That was a pretty cool place too.
that was great. And the unfortunate thing is we came in after Ghost Hunters came in and filmed.
Yeah.
We did their show there. So we were there 2 or 3 weeks later,
Yeah.
something that was pretty relatively close. And I remember the owner of the theater kept coming up to me because he found out that I was the medium, and he kept going, "Take me around the building, tell me everything." And so I told him everything about the building, and he goes, "Yep, yep, 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 yep." And then one thing I told him, remember I told him the one thing that nobody knew, and he got freaked out. It was about that abuse with the secretary.
Oh,
Remember that?
yeah.
And nobody was supposed to know. There was only 3 people at all because it was even a court case or there's some kind of crap going on.
Yeah.
How the hell did you know that? I said, well, when you tell me to talk to spirits in your building, they're gonna tell me everything.
Now, that's what kills me is you're gonna get somebody that's gonna be like, hey, you're a medium. Tell me what the spirits are saying. And then when you tell them, they're like, well, how'd you know that? Because that's how I roll.
That's how I
what you should
listen. See, they say the brain, I listen to it.
Yeah, like it just kills me when people do that. Well, why'd you know that? Duh. Here, look, let's rewind 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Remember
when you asked me?
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what the spirits are saying too.
Usually they give people the finger.
At least that's what I get.
Yeah. Hey, Jenny Davis is in the room. Hi, Jenny.
Jenny.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll tell the story of Joe and I at the St. Michael's Cemetery in Portage. Probably our coolest night. And Joe and I actually went back, a year ago winter?
Last year, yeah.
And we went back for a night because Joe was out doing his urban exploring. And we went out and who was, I forget the guy's name that was with us. You guys had the copter and everything? Didn't you have a flying camera?
Oh, we had the drone. Yeah.
That's the word. See, since you met me, I've gotten the Joe Biden disease.
Uh-oh.
I don't remember all words. That's why I slick back my hair the way I do. So
there you go.
You get the Biden look.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun night.
So we went out to this little cemetery in the middle of a farm field in Portage, Wisconsin. I mean, this is out in the middle of nowhere. There is no electricity around. There's no power lines above. There is nothing. So your EMF readers, anything like that, anything that you get in fluctuations out there is because there's fluctuations. It's not because there's any other type of energy. You can't see cars. The only thing you can hear is a train, which is a couple miles away, but that's all you got there. We've heard wolf packs. Remember we got that the second night out there last year?
Yeah.
Wolf packs howling at us. And anyway, so it's out in the middle of nothing, and there's a long road to get in. It's only a one-way road. It comes down to an end, a turnaround, and you have to go back out the same way. So we're out up and the thing is no bigger than somebody's house or somebody's like living room. It's a small cemetery.
Yeah.
They used to have a church on site, which they ended up moving somewhere, and but the cemetery still sits there, and so we're up in the cemetery, and we're looking around, and all of a sudden we see these headlights coming down, and we hear the car sound, so we're like, oh shit, here comes the police, because they all come out there to make sure nobody's vandalizing, and somebody has vandalized, but they ended up fixing it up again since. But so we hear the noise. We say, well, I might as well go out to get the, talk to the cops. So all 4 of us leave from up there. Who was that? It was you, Jamie, me.
Was Dave with us?
Maybe it was Dave.
I think Dave was with us.
Okay. And so we all decided to walk out and get out to the road. Nothing.
Yeah.
Not a thing. And I remember I had that million candlewatt light.
Yep.
I shined it all the way down the road. There's no cars because you got no reflection of anything. Did it the other way. There's no cars over there. Nothing.
Yeah.
So the mystery car.
I still to this day tell people about that. Like you could even see the tail lights on this car. Like you could see it through the trees but then you had to walk around this area, then you kind of lose sight of it, and you're right there at the road, and it was like poof, gone. Didn't hear it back up, because you can hear a car backing up, especially you'd have to back up pretty fast to get down that road because that's probably a quarter mile
Right.
road.
It's a long road. Yeah.
And it's straight. So there's nowhere to park on the sides. There's nowhere to turn around. Yeah. To this day, I have no explanation. None.
Yep. I have none either. I mean, because it just went away that fast. I mean, we knew it was a car. You could hear the engine.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a car. You saw the lights, you saw the tail lights, and you heard an engine. By the time we got there, which was probably 10 seconds, 20 seconds later, it was gone. Gone. Gone.
Yeah. So I have no, and what's weird is where that car was like would have stopped is the same night where you and I seen something. So I don't know. As much as of a non-believer that I am, that one sits with me.
Why don't you tell that story?
Oh, so we're out at the road or the little driveway area, and Scotty was on the phone, and I was standing there. I think I had to take a leak or something.
And smoke.
So got done with one thing, then I'm light a cigarette and I'm standing there, and there's right across the way, there's like 10 feet away is like a little ridge, not very tall, kind of like me. And I'm just standing there smoking. He's on the phone, and I'm thinking in my head, wow, man, like that tree right there looks like somebody's standing. And as soon as like that thought went in my head, it just ducked down, like someone was standing there and ducked down, and I about had
Joe and I turned each other. I put the phone down and went.
Yeah, I looked right at Scotty, thinking, okay, please let someone else have seen that, and he's looking the same direction, and I'm like, okay, he's seen it.
Yeah, I did.
And I don't remember who you were talking to, but you're like, I gotta go. You're like, I gotta go.
Yeah, gotta go. Bye.
And I remember we ran up on the line, the ridge line there, and it was just a field on the other side with barbed wire. I found that out. So yeah, like that was kind of creepy, kind of cool, but it was like I was just looking at it, and I'm like thinking, I didn't say it out loud, but I'm like, thinking, God, that looks like someone standing there. And then, and I was like, whoa. So,
and then we also had, so that was cool, and we both saw it.
Yeah,
we both encountered that. And then the one time we were sitting, we had like a base camp down by by the road. It's just a little bit in, but we were all sitting there, and then we all heard Running Man.
mm-hmm.
Running Man. We have a spirit that if you put your back to the cemetery, he'll come running up on you like someone's about to jump in.
And I thought that was a bunch of BS until I just about peed, because it's happened to me. And it does. It sounds like somebody like heavy foot, like really hitting the ground hard, like they're gonna run up and then try to stop. You know how like you run up behind someone, and when you go to stop, your feet are like bump, bump, bump. That's what you hear. But that night, last year when something smacked that tree behind me,
yeah,
and I was like Ben Johnson through that cemetery. I was hurdling headstones. No, because
so that was in the upper right-hand corner.
Yeah, where you guys used me as a guinea pig, and you're like, "Hey, Joe, go stand up in that dark corner by yourself." Okay.
And we heard it though too. I mean, somebody went.
Yeah, I was standing there, and I heard 2 footsteps come up behind me, and something smacked the tree right next to me, and all you heard was my footsteps. I had the camera too. That was like good footage too, because it just, yeah. Next thing I know, I'm standing right next to Scotty. He was like, "Oh, hey."
Yeah. Oh, hi. Something happened, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, we've had so many things there. I got a photograph of 2 light anomalies, or I call them spirits. Joe calls them light anomalies. Standing
Call
by
them
one of the,
bugs.
yeah, no, I mean, they're this long, so it's like
Yeah.
a
It's a
big
tall
rat
bug.
or something. But up in that corner too, I mean, there was times before I investigated with Joe up there, when I investigated with other teams. Um, there's times we had newspaper out there, and newspaper reporters saw things happening too. Saw
Yeah.
spirits up and down behind the gravestones, and every time we go there, we have something happen. Even that night, like I said, even that
Yeah.
night when we filmed out there again, we had. The other thing is, Joe, remember when we got the rock thrown at us walking down the street?
Yep. Yep.
So we were going towards the back and outside, and very Native American land there originally, before the cemetery was there and stuff, because it's not too far from the river. There's a creek that comes in here, so it would have been a good place to build camps and Native American space. And we went there, and we were walking down the street, and I don't know, I don't think we were provoking, but we were talking to spirit, and all of a sudden
Yeah.
we had this rock come just boom, boom.
Yeah. You just heard it skip down the road. I was like, oh, that's nice.
Oh, thank you for throwing shit at us.
Now, do you remember that photo that we got years ago? That it was done with a full spectrum camera.
I haven't yet.
You have that picture?
I do.
Oh, you've got to send me a copy of that. I cannot find that anywhere. I don't remember who took the picture, but they took a picture of Scotty.
Kendall Webb.
Huh?
Remember Ken Webb? That used to
No,
do,
that wasn't Ken.
Yes, it was Kendall.
Was it?
The one that I used to do Pastor Bedtime with?
Yeah.
He was out here visiting us, and we took him up there. And he had
Ah,
a spectrum
okay.
camera.
All right. He took this picture, and at first I thought it was Scotty. Like, it kind of looks like maybe possibly double exposure, shutter speed type of thing. If you want to get into that.
But on thermal.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, but I'm trying, Scotty. I'm trying. Shut up. And I remember we took that picture down to Pensacola.
Yep.
And MUFON had a table set
Yeah,
up.
remember we showed them.
And I was like, okay, if anybody is going to be on my side, it's going to be them. Nope. This guy looked, I don't know, he probably spent about an hour on this picture, and he was looking at all kinds of different things that I'm just now learning.
He looked at all the settings to see if we would edit it.
Yeah.
And in those days, it was harder to edit, but
yeah, you couldn't hide it as easy. And he was looking, and I mean, he told us everything he was looking for. And finally, he just kind of closed the laptop, and he goes, man, I'm going to tell you right now, he goes, as far as I'm looking at everything, that's real. And I was like, shit. Like I had nobody on my side. But it was kind of cool because then we kind of dived into the photo more, and we're like looking at stuff, zooming stuff. And I don't know, man, it kind of reminded me, and this is my take on it, of a pilot's jacket, like a bomber coat, almost to the point where you had goggles, like how they'd always pull their goggles up and rest them up on their head. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, it really looked like a bombardier.
Yeah. The only thing that I couldn't figure out was whatever was like on the chest. Like almost looked like someone had a camera, like strapped around and just hanging there. But we
went through and counted everybody else. Everybody was in the picture except for the guy behind the camera. But all of us were there, and we knew who each one was.
Yeah. That was a cool photo. Wow.
I got to dig that up. I still have it on one of my hard drives.
That's awesome. Yeah, see, I lost all my stuff. Everything. Now I have multiple external hard drives everywhere. So I'm starting to save stuff.
I'll look up Scotty too.
Yeah, that was so cool.
I have that somewhere. I actually have that out on the web somewhere. I put that up originally.
Do you?
Like SoundCloud or something. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's
in the cloud.
It's somewhere out there in history.
Man.
I was like saying, it's almost getting winter, and I haven't worn this new shirt out in a long time. So I'm excited to get it out tonight while it's still hot.
Yeah, you gotta have something on.
No, only if you're in the old days when you did radio, you didn't have to wear anything.
Well,
But
that's
when
true.
you're doing video, you have to be at least clothes from the top up.
That's right. When I used to do radio, you never knew what I was wearing or not wearing.
Not I do.
Sometimes these chairs get a little cold on bare skin.
How about
But
the night we were at your house and we saw the spirit walk upstairs?
man, let's not talk about that house I used to live in at all. Man, no.
I remember one night Joe called me. What the fuck was that?
Oh man,
He was F-bombing everything.
oh,
So funny. I was dying. I'm like, oh. I said, yeah, that's the spirit.
it was that one damn room.
I know.
That one little computer room I had, and right off the living room. And no one in that house believed me. Nobody. Until the night, well, I know you did, but no one that lived there believed me.
Yeah, that's true.
And we were all sitting there. All four of us were sitting in the living room watching TV. And I always kept that door open in that room and was sitting there. And of course, you remember where I lived. I mean, my closest neighbor was like a mile. Like you look out my windows at night, all you saw was pitch black. So I was out in the middle of the woods. And I remember sitting there, and I don't know where you just heard this little kid go, Mom. And once the blood started flowing again, I looked at Jenny and she's staring at the room. And I'm like, and I looked at her and I said, You heard that, right? And she goes, I'm just going to continue watching TV. And I said, All right, I'm not crazy. A lot of people have seen things in that house.
Yes.
Scott, when he'd stayed at our house one time and he was sitting in that rocking chair that I had downstairs. And he said it felt like someone came up, you'd like put your hands on a rocking chair from behind someone because it moved him in the chair. He never sat in that chair again.
So we got a thing from the chat room couple. Greg from Shadow Hunters. He says, I bet you it was a parachute harness.
Ooh.
Isn't that a good?
Yeah.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks, man.
Yeah. I thought it was a picture of Scotty.
It wasn't.
I know. That was way too tall to be you.
I know. I'm not that tall. Not that tall either. And then Jenny says, when are we going to investigate at Schoolhouse again? I don't know if we can, because unless you talk to Justin and we can do it privately.
I was there last year.
Oh, where are you?
Yep, because we got snowed in, had to stay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what he's like. I seen a post not too long ago where he wanted to sell the school, and so I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, I know this.
He's got some pretty cool stuff in there now.
Oh, cool. I know that the city's forcing him to have certain things to open.
Oh yeah, he's done a lot of work there. It looks really nice. I know at one point he wanted to turn it into like a museum type of thing, and he's got some pretty cool stuff in there. Like talk about history and dark history, and I was in heaven. I was just like, yeah. So I would love to go back there.
Oh, hi, Bonnie Gurney. How are you?
Hi, Barney.
Bonnie and Jenny. Yeah, that's the schoolhouse in what city is it? Wisconsin.
Wisconsin Rapids, First Ward Schoolhouse.
Yeah. So then Joe and I went on a journey of our lifetime to Gettysburg.
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Gettysburg is awesome.
We picked up Brian Hensley and Nick. We all got in my cop car and drove.
Yeah, we did. Then we stopped in Mansfield on the way back.
Oh my God, let's talk about Mansfield.
Yeah, let's talk about Mansfield.
So we get a private invitation to go during the day to Mansfield, and we can go wherever we want, and we go in. So we go up to the big front doors, the big wood doors, and when we walk in, the doors open. We leave it open, and we walk into the vestibule right there. Next thing you know, the big wood door goes boom.
That damn thing closed on me. Right there. Like,
so there we all went, what the hell is that?
Yeah, that was nuts.
So that started out our day there. And boy, did we get some.
Every
remember.
time I've been to Gettysburg a few times now with you guys, and
Yeah.
every time we go, we always got to eat at a certain spot.
Yes, we do.
General Pickett's.
Love it.
Yep.
So you also remember that? Remember they were there and they said let's go to the cell. So Scotty, you're the medium. Tell us the cell where they house the most notorious or heinous, not heinous. I have Joe
Somebody,
Biden.
somebody's
Joe
anus.
Biden for president. That's me today. What's the word? Notorious.
Horrendous.
Yeah, there you go. Notorious. I don't care anything. So they said, okay, you take us to there, and I took them right to that. Right, remember we went to that one right down the end,
Yeah.
and they said, yep, that's where he was. That was where he was housed.
Yeah.
They said, how can you pick out of all the jail cells? And I never was there before, so first time walk in, right to the room.
Yeah, that was a cool place.
Yeah, that's very cool. Love it there.
I miss traveling. God. I don't get to travel anymore.
Well,
Not as much.
I got plenty of time now.
Oh yeah.
Then of course Gettysburg is always great. You always find a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like that was pretty cool. I think I went back. I don't even know how many times I went, but that was
2 or 3.
yeah, something like that. I don't know. Fun times.
It was.
Hopefully 2021 opens up a little bit and like people can get out and do some more events and
Yeah, right now like I said, I have like 9 events coming up. Everyone can find them on my Facebook or on my ScottyRorek.com page. All my events are up. But the nice thing, even with these spiritual events, they're like conventions, but you have to limit the people, and everybody wears masks. So I mean, I've been to 3 or 4 now, and nobody's gotten sick in any one of them.
yeah.
So it's getting to a point. I saw a thing on Egypt. You believe it or not, I saw a place in Egypt that nobody wears a mask in Egypt,
And no one's sick.
and no one's sick, and they have like 10 cases.
Yeah. I think we're turning into more of a society where I think we're learning more to where we can still interact, we can still live our lives, couple more restrictions, but it's not like the end of the world because you got to put a freaking mask on.
Right.
I mean, trust me, I don't like them. I am not one of them people that are like, yay, mask. First of all, Scotty, you know me, I don't like people. So if you're that close to me,
Right.
we already have an issue. But whatever. I mean, it is, and I work retail. So I've got people standing right in front of me every day, all day long. A lot of them don't wear a mask. It is what it is. Not saying that I want to go like run around and swap spit with all my customers just so I can get it, but I just try to keep my distance the best I can.
That's the toughest thing here. I mean, with my immune system and the way I am, it would be very bad for me if I got it. So I wear my mask and stay my distance, and the few people that I know don't have it, are the ones that I hug. Like I always, you know what I mean? So
how do you hug everybody?
I do. I'm a hugger, and that's why it's hard for me. Now I have to do one of these.
I know.
I
Yep.
hate that. Let me
I'm
hug
okay
you.
with it. I'm okay with it because I'm like, that's cool.
That was you before anyway.
Well, yeah. Now I can just blame it on Rona.
Yeah. My Rona.
Yep. Everyone's like, well, how come you won't hug me? Well, Rona, man.
Yeah. I wouldn't have hugged you in the first place, bitch.
Right? Oh, how we've grown since the olden days.
Yeah, I swear more than you know. So.
What? I don't know about that. See, I'm trying to be nice,
I've
right?
like 3 or 4 times tonight already.
Oh, I know. I'm trying to be nice. See, and it's funny because like on my YouTube channel, I don't I don't cuss. All my videos, like the one time I said something bad, I had to bleep it out. And everyone's like, you okay?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Why? They're like, you haven't said anything. You haven't called anyone a goat nut, anything. And I'm like,
Oh, yeah, I missed that.
I know,
Oh,
I
no.
do too sometimes. But like even Jay and Jason are like, dude, why don't you let your balls drop a little, And I'm like, this is the new me. And they're like, nah, I don't like it. I used to be really bad.
Understatement.
I had no, I mean, I still don't have a filter. I'm just a little more uh, aware of when to push the on off switch. Before I didn't care. Like if you said something stupid to me, the world knew it.
Exactly. So let me tell everybody about something stupid Joe said to me.
I've never said anything stupid to Scotty.
Yes, he did.
And
He
I'm
said to
sure,
me, "Here it comes. Ready? Drum roll.
here we go.
I, Joe Couto, did not get scratched.
I did not get,
Bull, 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 bull. The bull meter's way over, dude.
yeah,
Okay, so here's the story. So we're at a private investigation at a house in Kenosha. And this is way before the riots. So
that was before it burned down.
exactly. So it was in the old days. So we're at this, and I actually still talk to them, by the way.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so we go into the basement, and we have our infrared cameras up, or I mean our night vision cameras up, and we're sitting. I'm on one end of the couch. Joe's at the other end of the couch. A couple other investigations are in chairs. We're sitting there talking, and all of a sudden Joe goes, "Ow!" And I wasn't close to him. And then so we look on, we turn the lights on, and there's a scratch on Joe's arms. So okay, we say, and Joe goes, "Well, that could have been anybody. I could have touched it on the couch. I could have got this. You could have touched me. Blah 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 blah." So we rewound the camera. We went back to it. There was nobody there before he went, "Ow!"
Could have
Joe
happened
Couto
like 2
got
hours
scratched.
earlier.
It did not.
That was kind of weird.
And then that night he said, "Yeah, it was a scratch." And then the next day, nope, it wasn't a scratch.
Oh, because like I used to really dig into these, and when I thought I had the answers, they got thrown away. So I'm like, all right, maybe. So then I'd sleep on it, and the next morning I'd wake up and be like, no, wait a minute, hold on. Like the position of the moon and this, nope,
And Uranus.
And her anus, and it could have been that one mosquito that had been drinking milk, and yeah, I tried everything.
Didn't work.
I got nothing.
Except for Scotty yelling at him.
Well, yeah, plenty of times.
Do that a lot.
Oh yeah,
Because it was just like, it was so obvious that the spirit scratched.
well, and I don't think. Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's when it happened, but like I was just sitting there,
Said, "Ow!"
and it was like all of a sudden it started burning. It was like
"Ow!"
I didn't yell, but
It was very similar to that.
probably a couple cuss words in there too.
Yeah, there was, but
Yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, it's like all of a sudden started burning a little bit and stinging, and I'm like, oh, damn it! What? And look, and yeah, there it was.
Yeah.
So
Joe Couto did get scratched. See, and what's so funny is both you and Tim Miley have grown so much in the field, because Tim used to be just like you in the early days.
yeah,
But he's very different now, because he can actually hear spirits now too. So
yes, and that's the thing that you and I got to talk one of these days.
we will.
I don't know if it's just me getting old or what, but I hear stuff from time to time, and I just chalk it up as like I'm getting old.
Yeah. And somebody else you know very well does too, but he won't come out, and I'm not here to.
Oh yeah,
I'm not here to out him.
I'll kick him in his ass, whoever it is.
You know him
But-
very well.
But yeah, it's just weird. Like I'll be sitting there sometime, and usually it's my name. Like I think I'm hearing my name, and I'll I'll look at Jenny, and she'll look at me. I'm like, what? She'll be like, the hell are you talking about? What? I'm like, you say something? She's like, no. I'm like, okay. I'm gonna go back to editing videos then because I'm done. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess
Devin,
I guess I've never had any definite proof of that. But
I don't know. A scratch on the arm is pretty
no,
bad.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like hearing shit.
It's
But
called, it's called, like Devin in the chat room says, clear audience. So that's what you have.
my name's not Claire.
Yeah, but I'm going to change it to it.
I mean, I guess you
Listen
can
here,
call me.
Claire.
I guess you can call me Claire if you want to. Cost you an extra $5.
All right. That's no worries. I can do that.
All right. Yeah, I mean it is kind of weird. You and I have been places where I've picked up on. Well, okay, I'm not going to use picked up on because that sounds a little more along your lines, but I get something draws my attention. Let's put it that way. For instance, the one time, where were we with that big Victorian house? We went and helped another group, you and I did. And we get out of this car.
What the hell was that?
I don't know. It was like north of Madison, I thought. Well, no, it was a little ways away,
Yeah.
but like maybe an hour from you or something. But we get out of this car. Now, I know nothing about this place because I'm just basically Scotty's sidekick at this point. And I get out of the car and I'm staring up at this window. Scotty looks at me. He's like, "What's up?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. Something about that window, something about that room." And you were like, "Huh, okay." And you're like, "Well, what?" I'm like, "I don't know. It just makes me want to keep looking at that window." And I knew in your head you were just wanting to make fun of me, but
No, I was baiting you.
and you're like, "Oh, okay, all right. Well, let's go in." And I don't remember what they said about that room, but there was something with that room. It happened when we went to Indiana to that certain house that I don't even want to talk about because it just makes me so mad right now. And that was umpteen years ago.
Fox Hollow
But
Farm.
you said it. So should we tell that story?
We should.
So we got a chance to go investigate Fox Hollow Farms before anybody has been there. Before my three favorite people that have done ghost hunting shows. Like we had to sign all these little waivers and we won't talk about the place and da 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 da. And there was a lot of us there.
A lot.
Deb Lance, Nick and Brian. That's actually where I think a lot of us actually met. Like face to face was that weekend.
With Deb and Nick, us two, Bishop Long.
Yes, that's where I met. Yep, that's where I met him. Deb, that's where I met Deb. Yeah, so
Deb and I and Nick were the first three mediums in the place.
Yeah,
Ever.
And we were we were the first ones to ever go to this location, and thought it was pretty cool. And so we go and do our thing, and Deb was kind of walking around a lot with me, and I had that same kind of situation happen to me down in the basement in the room next to the pool.
Right.
But it was the corner of that room, and because Deb's like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I just want to be."
All us mediums do, Joe. When we know somebody else has something, we all look at you and go, "What's up?
What's up? What do you got?" And I'm just, and I'm like, "I don't know. I just want to be in this room, and I just want to be facing this corner." And she kind of, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, "All right, this is starting to become a pattern." But Deb and I were outside, out in the woods, and I saw in the distance almost looked like someone wearing like a red shirt, red coat, red something. But it was out in the woods. And I'm telling Deb, and she was like, "Okay, well, I don't see it, but yeah, I can see where that might be happening." And I'm like, "I see it." So stupid me. And this is like, it was middle winter.
It was cold.
It was cold as hell. So I go flying through the woods. I'm going towards this thing, and it's not getting any closer. Like I'll come around a tree, and it's still that same distance away from me. And I'm like, and it wasn't clear, like you couldn't see a silhouette or anything, but you could just see the red.
Right.
And only light we really had good enough out there was the moonlight with the snow. And I fell through the ice in the creek and everything. So I was never able to get close to it. And then finally it was gone. So we did that. We gave all of our findings and experiences, and we all went about our way. So then let's fast forward, I don't know how many years, but it was quite a few years. Still, nothing, no one goes out to this place. And as was actually living out this way. And so I don't know what I was doing. I was finishing up making dinner or something, and I told Jenny, find something on TV. And she was like, well, do you want to watch a certain ghost hunting show? And I said, sure, put it on. And I'm finishing up getting whatever I was getting. I'm getting ready to come out of the kitchen, go into the living room, and I hear, oh shit, we better turn this off. And I'm like, ooh, what's going on? She goes, nothing. And she's changing the channel. She goes, well, we're not going to watch that particular show tonight. And I'm like, why? She goes, because you're going to get mad. And I'm like, why am I going to get mad? She goes, trust me, you're going to get really, really mad. And I'm like, just put the show on. She was like, okay, put the show on. I won't say which show. They are investigating at Fox Hollow Farms. And lo and behold, the owners are doing a interview. And now, prior to this, the owners have not experienced anything in that home, or at least that's what we were told that weekend. So anyway, so we're back fast forwarding again. And the owners are doing an interview, and they're talking about how in the woods, that was weird, how in the woods they see a ghost, a person running around the woods with a red coat on. And my blood just instantly is boiling. And about the time I was going to say something, my phone starts ringing, and it's Deb. Hey, are you watching? I said, yes. She goes, isn't that? And other people are calling me. They're like, hey, wasn't that your story? And I'm like, oh, let's just not. And I didn't watch the rest of the episode.
Right.
I was mad.
You know what was funny on the whole thing was, so Deb and I did not. You guys all kind of saw the news clips beforehand. Remember, you guys all went into that room or someplace and watched it. And Deb and I had to stay back at the hotel because we didn't want anything to know about the site.
Yeah.
So all night long, I mean, remember I did the automatic writing.
Yep.
On the thing, and the eyes were drawn out because he was, it was really one of those creepy drawings. And but at the end of the night, Deb and I had to sit down with the homeowners and tell them everything about it. And you're right, almost everything we told them that night has now been on TV shows playing by other people.
Yep. But I won't. No.
Yeah, we won't do that.
Now, years ago, I would have called. Matter of fact, I think I did when that happened. I called that shit out everywhere.
You did.
I think I even said something to that person when I met him in Kentucky, but we won't go down that road either because he does not like me. So
I like you.
Stand in line. There's lots of others.
I love you, Joe.
I know, but yeah. So that was kind of that was really close to my path of, you know what, I'm about ready to hang this crap up. And it wasn't long after that I just finally said, you know what, with all the drama, with all the quote paranormal turf wars and everything that was going on at the time, I was like, you know what, I ain't got time for this shit.
But it still goes on.
Does it really?
Yeah.
I've been told, no, it doesn't.
Well,
I
um,
yeah,
it still goes on, and we've been talking. I've talked on the show a few times about it, where we talk about it. I mean, I've been talking with Mark Anthony. Remember Mark, the psychic
yeah,
lawyer? Remember him?
yeah,
I had him on the show. We were talking about it too. There's still that ego there that says you can't come into this place because that's our ghost.
is there really?
Yeah, still there. And instead of bringing another group in there to trying to find or get the same EVP, that way you can have it from two different groups. That
Yeah,
means one person didn't make it up. You know what I mean? So instead of like what happened with us, and saying all this stuff about that place, you know, instead of saying, "Oh, there's a man in red now," there's a man in red. Let's get somebody to go out there without that knowledge and try to prove the man in red again. You know what I mean?
exactly.
And
You
then
know,
then it would become a way more validated and way more um, kind of a cool story about it. You know what I mean?
but see but see that wouldn't. I don't think that would fix people's egos though, because they'd still be like, well, I saw it first. At least that's the way it used to be, and you're saying it's still like that.
It is.
See, that's the whole reason why I walked away from this crap. And like Jason and Jay and I always argue about this. Jason kind of understands where I'm coming from. Jay's like, "Oh no, you're a paranormal investigator." No, I'm not. Like, I would rather right now just be.
Joe Couto, the medium.
Well, let's not go down that road. Um, but
I just outed him on national TV,
but
international, because
I
some people
go
from England are watching.
I go more for the label of YouTuber. That type of thing. I don't necessarily want to be a paranormal investigator anymore. But then there's times where I want to. So I don't know.
It never really gets out of us, but I understand it, because I don't do it the same way I did before. I mean, I do it way more spiritual now than even then.
Yeah.
But I think that's the realm that I need to go down. Even when I'm doing the Riverside, theater over Halloween, it's still going to be from my spiritual sense. You know what I mean?
Well, and I think everyone has their own, I guess, quote path.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many years ago did I talk about doing what I do right now with
A long
you?
time ago, but we
I've,
didn't.
I've, I told Kale, I've told everyone.
I know.
I
We didn't
don't
have the
want to go
equipment.
in with all these meters and little lights and beeps and all. I just want to go in with a camera. I want to just see what happens. And everyone's like, well, you're not doing it right. And page 53 of my pamphlet book that I wrote and self published says that you have to do it. It's like, you know what, buddy? Ooh, look, the old me's coming out a little bit.
Rubbing off on
Oh,
everything, rubbing off on. But but that's what it is. I mean, we have to, because like I say, too often people spend their whole night looking like this at the gear and never looking at the ghosts.
yeah.
You know, and that's where I do different now, because I don't go into debunk and I don't go into prove. I go into find out what's happening.
See, I don't even debunk anymore.
I
Whoa.
don't,
Can you
don't
believe
need
that?
to.
Coming
Yeah,
from
I do
me?
believe that because I understand it, because I don't either, because that's not one of my goals. My
Yeah.
goal is to find out what's happening in the house, and try to help the people that I'm helping with their house,
Yeah.
and how to live in their house with spirit. That's what it's to understand about.
Well, see, and I could see that being your path. Me, I honestly, I just want to experience what the average person would experience at
And we did
whatever
that night,
whatever
right?
location they go.
Right. The night we went out to the cemetery again, and we
Yeah,
had your camera, we were not investigating, but we still had
yeah,
shit happen.
exactly. That's my path. That's what I want to document. Um,
Okay, come
and
follow me
then
around with your camera.
and then when somebody says, "Hey, Joe, hey, I'm from blah 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 paranormal. Hey, I see you went to blah 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 cemetery. Hey, I watched your video. You captured this, whatever. Hey, do you want to talk about it a little bit? Because I'm going to take my team out there. I'd love to go out there and film you guys doing your thing, because I think a lot of people want to see that side of it too. You
Mhm.
know, and that's like part of my whole new new path that I haven't really put out to the public yet. So, but yeah, that's what I want to do.
You're free to film me anytime you want to.
Actually, with what I was talking to you about before we went live, I actually wanted to talk to you and see if I can get a little bit out of you or a little involved in that.
Deal.
So,
I'm in.
all right.
You got plenty of time now.
I wish I did. That's the problem.
But I mean, okay, so there's a couple other things on this. Remember when we went to the Brumner Mansions?
One of my favorite places.
It's amazing, ain't it? That's in Milwaukee. And every time we go there, my car would get broken into.
Yeah, I wouldn't go down there now. I'd probably get blown up or something, but
I know.
because it's not in a nice neighborhood.
The most beautiful house in Milwaukee, but it's not in a nice neighborhood.
No, it's right smack in the middle of the hood.
And I have a cop car, and the cop car.
Do you still have that?
I do. I actually have a white one now.
Oh, yeah.
I might be making that into Ecto.
Oh hell.
Oh hell no! Here it comes.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet.
I know, me too.
Yeah, but no, that place is just it's almost like every time you go there, it's something completely different.
Yeah, but I mean,
that place has been so many different businesses,
bars.
I mean, it like complete different, like, you get a lot of buildings and it's always been a hotel, just different owners. Or, I mean, this place has been a speakeasy. It's been a regular bar. It's been a halfway house. And it's like every time you go, there's a complete new experience.
And Joe's had a ton there too.
Oh, I think that was probably one of my biggest oh shit moments. In all the years I've been doing this stuff, I have never, quote, really seen anything that made me go, whoa. I had to walk out of the building. So if that doesn't say something.
Wasn't that the room upstairs, like that blue room? Wasn't that?
Yes, it was. That was actually when we went there last year and filmed. That's the room Jenny and I stayed in, because I was like, oh yeah, let's see. And of course, nothing. But yeah, I think I've seen my first full-bodied, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Apparition.
And it wasn't like you see on the recreations where it was see-through and shit. No, that looked like someone standing in the room.
That was pretty remarkable.
Yeah. And it was funny because I didn't say anything to anyone. I just was like, hey, I'm gonna step outside. And I walked outside to have a cigarette because I was just like, what in the hell did I just witness? Yeah. And I remember Julie, big Glamazon Julie, came outside. She goes, okay, what's up? Because you don't just walk out of a room. And I'm like, if I told you, you wouldn't believe me. And she was like, well, coming from you, probably not. And I told her and she was like, wow. So
I had one of my best moments downstairs and where the old speakeasy was. Remember, in that back room?
Yep. Dave got scratched. Yeah.
We saw so many lights. We saw so many things move across the rooms. I mean, it was just, the place is remarkable. We had
EVPs of women calling names. We had kids calling for their mothers. It's a cool place, but I don't know.
Yeah, like Jen Hutchins says, most of the time she just carries a camera and that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
want to be on YouTube?
Robin, we don't want to be in Louisville either right now. Louisville.
Ooh. Well, I don't know.
They convicted him, so I don't know what happens now. The riots continue because you convicted the guy.
Well,
they convicted the cop.
Well, he got indicted for endangerment because only one of the cops.
Okay.
And he got charged with endangerment because one of the shots he fired obviously missed a target and went through the wall and into the neighbor's apartment. Okay. So that's what he got charged with. So of course people are upset. But what I thought was weird today is there was live feeds, right? Because I even watched the live feed of the U-Haul truck pull up and everyone started pulling signs and weapons out. And I'm like, oh, yep, here we go. And then all of a sudden you couldn't find any live feeds on Facebook. None. It was almost like Facebook said, nope. So I don't know. So I don't know what's going on out there tonight. I know the Kenosha thing hit pretty close to home for me because my mother was right there. My brother. Yeah. So I almost actually went out to, I almost took a drive that night and went down there. And
Wow.
and Jenny stopped me. Well, you know, I mean, I've got my mom out there,
Right.
my brother, my nephews, my brother's in law enforcement. So, I mean, and not like I was going to go walk around the streets, but I was going to go stay at my mom's house to
Right.
protect
Right.
because that was actually just not many blocks away from my mom's house.
Yeah, but you're out here in Madison. It got bad here too. So
Yep. I
you
think
know,
it's going to get bad everywhere. I think it's going to get bad in November. I think it's going to get really bad. But
but that's not going to stop people from voting. Unfortunately,
no.
it'll draw more people out because most people don't want that to happen.
Yeah. So I don't know. You just got to kind of, I'm just trying to live life. That's my thing.
Yep, that's all you can do, you know. And for me, it's to give love and send love to everybody and allow everyone to be who they want to be and the life of happiness and peace. That's what it's about.
Yeah. I'm just trying to,
Everybody treated the same,
yeah.
and if they're not, they have to be.
Yep. I don't get into the politics game. I don't get into any of that. I mean, I have my opinion on certain things that I keep very private just to not start a big shitstorm because no matter what you say, you're wrong on somebody's side.
Right. Exactly.
So I just, you know what, and my only goal right now is to enjoy what I have left of my life and make it the best I can and put out videos. And if I make people laugh, I make people laugh. Cool.
We made each other laugh a lot in the
Oh,
11 years we've known each other.
oh yeah.
It's been a fun. Oh, I remember this again. Remember when we're on that one guy's show that he was like Svengoolie, but Rich's show?
Oh yeah.
Wasn't that what was that? That was
Uh
it was like a Sven. He used to have a show here in Madison.
yeah. Rich Peters. I remember him. What the hell was that?
I know I can't remember the name, but then again, I'm Joe Biden.
The little green dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
cool.
we
We
were
got
at
to,
and then we
got
were at the
that.
theater.
Yep. For that whatchamacallit film festival.
Film festival, yeah.
Yeah. Got to meet a lot of people. That was cool. I can't remember that guy's show now.
Yeah, either.
Damn it. All right. I don't know.
See, now you're getting to be Joe Biden too.
Oh yeah. That's my age, man.
I know that's our age. We're getting old.
I'm getting old. I'm gonna be 22 next month. So
That's the age of your underwear, not
well, yes.
not your age. Your underwear
Oh,
that you're
okay.
still wearing.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Still got the Cheeto stains on it and everything.
So what other cool things have we done? How many?
Oh,
Too many.
trying to think.
A lot of road trips.
Oh, I know. That was so much fun. So much fun. I don't know. There's so many places. Trying to think of some good ones that
That was
stand
the
out.
first time. That was the first time we ever went to Post Town either, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember that was the night. That was the night I met Daryl, and he was mad about me being a psychic because he didn't believe,
Yeah.
and that the other psychic went in and talked to Daryl, and then gave Brenda the reading of what Daryl said, and then gave Daryl the reading of what Brenda said from just talking.
Yeah.
And so they had a bad taste of mediums.
Yeah.
And that Daryl that night goes, okay, if you're truly a psychic, what do we eat here at Post Town? And I said, meatloaf. He goes, no, you're wrong. It was spaghetti. I said, Daryl, what day is it today? He goes, Thursday. I said, what did you have on Thursdays? He goes, meatloaf. I go, you're wrong. And Daryl and I have been best friends ever since.
Yep. That was the night I got my ass kicked playing pool.
You did.
Yeah.
Brenda's the man. I went out.
Man, she is a pool shark.
Oh my God! I went out and watched her at a tournament once. Everyone's ass.
Like, I consider myself pretty good. Like, I've been downstate, like, whatever. She mopped the room with my ass. You would have thought it was the first time I ever played pool.
That's why I never played her. I was like, no.
Yeah. I never played her after that. Never. Fun times.
Yeah, we did. We had so much fun. We met so many cool people.
Yeah. Which a lot of the people I don't even keep in touch with anymore.
But see, I do. I mean,
some of those people were actually some of the ones that made me say, you know what? I can't do this anymore.
I understand. There's a few of them.
I just can't believe it's still going on.
Of course.
You still have that.
Egos are still there, and the TV shows we talked about are still on.
Oh, I know that. I'm not even going to get into that topic.
I know you're not in it, but we always talk about we really haven't changed that much other than some of the devices.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed I've seen some pretty cool things now that I've, certain people that sell certain things for certain amounts of like $1,000, $1,500. And it's like, well, okay, so some things never change, but
then there's some guys out there like Bill Chappell that are really in it, and he's made some good gear all his life. You know what I mean? So those guys are awesome.
Yeah.
And then Sean Parker at Ghost Dot. There are some
yeah
out there, that are really good friends and people. But then there's the other ones.
There's other ones. Yes, there is. Yeah.
But you have that in every field.
Well, you have to, though, I think.
You have that in politics. You have that in doctors. You have that in everybody. Everybody, scientists. I mean, look how bad, if you ever watched The Big Bang Theory, look how much, they always bitched about everybody else because it was all about them trying to get it, not the universe trying to get it.
Well, and I think,
it happens everywhere.
Well, and everyone's like, well, we just need to come together and get rid of this. Well, number one, I don't think it'll ever happen.
But there shouldn't be unity.
But I also don't think that it's a good idea. I think, and no matter what you do, any field, any whatever, you have to have good and bad. That whole yin and yang. Because if it's just everything's all peaches and unicorn piss, like it's not going to work out.
Yeah, but you still got people telling people they have demons in their house when there's no such thing in their house. You know what I mean?
There's no such thing as demons. But anyways.
I understand, but Tim Miley and I had to go into somebody's house that another team told them they had demons.
And play cleanup, yep.
Right. So it still happens, and it's still out there, and people do it for the wrong reason. And there's mediums that do it for the wrong reasons, and I say that all the time. You can't be going out scaring people. You know what I mean? There just can't.
Oh, I can name one right now. No, I won't.
But I'll get the names off the air. So
yes, off air. There's a certain female psychic, medium, whatever, from many, many years ago in my life that I don't wish bad on a lot of people. Let's just say that.
I'm glad I'm on your good side.
Yeah, yeah, and that's been a lot of years ago.
Yeah, but you and I have always talked about this since the day we met each other. And the thing is, we both agreed. Even as a medium, I'm quite skeptical because I don't call everything a ghost, and I don't.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to unless it really is. And then
I call nothing a ghost. So,
except for the one you saw at the Brumner.
That one don't count. That was special. But yeah,
because Joe's always. Here's the thing, though. I'm going to call you out again because I told you I would. So I wanted to go this one because you always said unless it came out of the woodwork and the ghost, I wouldn't believe it. And this one came out of the woodwork, showed his ass, and you still don't believe it.
Yeah. No,
it came to you.
that one, and other little things that we've talked about that have been happening to me have kind of opened my eyes a little bit more. So,
Which is okay because I'm still happy that you're skeptical because
yeah.
you have to be.
Well, yeah,
It is,
I can never live with the title goat nut. I just can't. I just can't do it.
yeah, but I can't either. Have a good night, darling. But yeah, so it's been fun and it's just the start. Even though we're getting older, we're going to continue to do stuff and be
Oh yeah.
friends and be together. So
Oh yeah. You're gonna
if
see a
anybody has
lot.
any questions, you can open it up to Joe and I in our little chat room area or Facebook chat, and we'll be more than happy to answer anything in the last few moments we have. Even though we're way over, who cares? There is no timelines like in the old days when we used to do radio.
Oh yeah, but like, all right, man, we gotta get off. The next show's coming on next.
Yeah. And
All
then
right, and
we
the
did,
encoder is yours. No.
yeah, exactly. We did 3 hours of the show and we still ran out of time.
I still remember that first night I did that show. Sherry and we were on Blog Talk Radio, and you messaged me during the show, and you were like, "What in the Sam hell are you doing on Blog Talk?" And I'm like, "What?" You do know I have a radio network, and I'm like, "Okay." He goes, "Yeah, we're gonna talk." And then
Yep.
that started my 5 or 6 year stint with Z Talk, and oh man, the good old days.
And we sure ran into some goat nuts with that too.
Oh yeah, we did. Yes, yes, yes. And I'm sure you're still going to have them out there. I mean, like I said, I think you have to have people like yourself. You have to have people like me, like you and I. When we're together doing something, we keep each other on our toes.
Oh yeah.
Um, when you get people that are just completely on the same, to me, it kind of throws it off. I don't know. That's just my opinion on it.
I agree. I agree. The more diversity, I think, the better.
Yes, I like to question everything, everything.
Okay, which is okay.
You know,
But we've
but
gotten answers when you've done it, so that's the cool thing.
yeah, exactly.
That's what in the end, that's what it's about. Getting these answers.
Yeah,
But I mean, did you see Brian Harnwell came back after being out for 7 years?
they did.
And Brian was always good to us at Z Talk. He stood up for us many times.
Yeah,
Always liked Brian. So I was glad that he came back in the field. So, and he got beat up tough too. And
yeah, he did.
he made a lot of mistakes, but at least he's owned up to them and is going on like.
But who hasn't though? That's the thing.
I know.
Like
We all have.
we all have made mistakes. There's no freaking guidebook on how you're supposed to do things.
Right.
You're in a field that has no set quote rules, whatever. But if you do something out of this group's whatever little book in their head, then you get attacked, and then this group over here, and then eventually this group over here, you side with, and you guys are good friends for years, but then you find out that they're only trying to get to this point, and once they're done with you, it's like, all right, what ledge can I jump on now?
Right.
It's happened, Scotty. It's happened to both of us.
Yes.
Then people get to a certain ledge, realize they're not going to make it anymore, and then they just completely leave the field. Not to say any names or anything, but
Nope.
so yeah, that's why I walked away. I was just like, like this is worse than a freaking soap opera.
It was.
And I mean, you say it's still like that. Hopefully, I don't come in contact with much.
It's gotten better, but it still is.
Yeah.
I remember talking to John Zaffis a long time ago, and him and I were talking about this, and he says, "Scott, in the end, it's only going to be the ones that are serious." And and he goes, "You and I will still be there." And I said, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah.
And that's what it's going to be. It's because it's gotten more serious, but everybody's still, their big fame is trying to get on TV. That's still the goal. Before it was trying to get on radio, and now it's trying to get on TV.
And it's not all that. Hey, I got one of my videos on a TV show.
Yep.
It didn't do nothing for me. Nothing. I have a video on my channel that's like twice as many views than the one that was on TV. So,
Yep.
and it's still getting views to, like every day. It started controversy on Facebook, everything. I love it. Stir that shit
Why
up.
don't you give everybody your pages, Joe, so they can find you?
Yeah. Well, you can find me on Facebook, Joe Couto. Um, I've been messing around with Twitter a little bit. Not really. That's really not my thing. That's more of a. I wish I was still in high school. But you can find me with Skeptical Edge TV on YouTube, TSC_Joe on Twitter. I do a little bit of gaming. We kind of go on there. I'll be playing games, getting my ass kicked by little 10-year-old kids, and we talk paranormal stuff a lot. Soon, very soon on Twitch will be the return of the Skeptical Edge with Kale Kelly and I. We're going to be doing a video show once a week. That's going to get a little crazy because we talk about everything, anything, what's going trending in the news. You know, you guys come in, jump in the chat, we'll talk. We'll even put you on the show. You know, we're not going to hate you for your opinion, but we just want to talk about it. So it's going to be some good things coming up. I'm going to be doing a lot more filming. I've been talking with some people and going to start my own production company. I've got a couple documentaries that I'm already working on. So
Awesomeness.
yes.
Very cool. As always, I am available for new students. Some of my students have graduated from classes, so now are out doing their own stuff. So classes on mediumship are open. Please contact me through Scotty Rorek Psychic Medium on Facebook, ScottyRorek.com, Scotty Rorek on Facebook, Scotty Rorek on Facebook. I got 2 pages. I'm all over the place. Scotty Rorek on Instagram.
He's so popular.
Yeah, it's weird. You got a lot of times clicking and posting. I don't know. Well, Joe Couto, thanks for spending some time. Bear with us as we go off the air. Thank you, everybody, for watching with us. Next week, I have 2 wonderful females on with me, Dawn and Amanda. We're going to be talking about, they actually put on an event, a spiritual event, and they run a shop in Wisconsin here. So we're going to be talking with them next week. So look out for the banners. And as always, Scotty talks about every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. on Shadowhunters Paranormal Investigators and Events page right here on Facebook. So thank you guys and have a wonderful night. Bye, Joe Couto.
Bye. Thanks for having me, man.